Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Today we're going to make a card. I'm figuring Mother's Day, it's around the corner. I have to start getting these things done and I'm way backed up. And again, I'm going back to my stash. I brought out the Letters from the Heart dies and the embossing folder from Crafter's Companion. These papers are from their layout collection. And I also brought out the set from LDRS, the Sealed with Good Wishes. We might use that. And then we'll see. I don't know how this is going to go. I got some other papers here for my layers. And we'll see what we come up with. So I'm going to go ahead and get my card base. And then, in fact, let me just get one right here. I try to cut my card bases ahead of time and leave a little pile on the side. And we're going to see how we're going to layer this one. I know I want this to be my background. So that guy's going to be a 5x7. And then I want a layer of the blue just to start breaking that up a little bit. I was thinking another layer of the cream or using this to make like the twine that's supposed to go on the seal. And then we can use one of these papers to do our page that will emboss. That's the thought. Let's see how it all plays out. Okay, let's see the sizes of these dies. Okay, so I'm going to use the biggest for the blue. And no, I think I'm going to want another layer. So, let's cut the blue out first, and then we'll cut two of the lighter color and see how we feel about that. All right, I'm gonna run those through and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have those two sizes and I am going to emboss this one, but let's cut our back panel. Let's make this 5. 7. And we'll have to trim a little bit off the side. And there we go. Okay. Maybe we could leave a little bit of a border. I like the borders. I don't know why. Okay. Let's cut that down just a little bit. All right. See, just a little bit, not a lot. That's perfect. Okay, so we have that. And then we're gonna put this, I might put it at an angle, but let's emboss this and see. Let's put that here. And let's emboss this. I'm just going to mute you while I run it through. Okay, I have the machine now right next to the microphone and that's going to be really loud, so. All right, let's see. Just giving texture, and that's all. And then I figured we could cut out some of those flowers from LDRS. Let me see where I put that at. we could stick those here. So let me get some colors ready and I'll be right back. Okay, so I figured we could cut a couple of the smaller flowers in pink and blue just to tie in the colors of this paper. We'll use the green for the foliage and this color for the what will be the twine, right? Okay, so I'm gonna cut those out. Again, my machine is loud, so I'm gonna pause, but we'll cut it out and then we'll come back and assemble everything. Alrighty. So we're just gonna pop these out. And I'm trying to be careful because I have both of them in there. So let's get this one out. These things are so thin, you gotta be very careful with them. And I discovered putting your metal shim makes it cut better. If not, you have to like cut it twice. And let's pop this other flower out. Okay. So we would have something that's pretty. And then this guy will go in the center with the flowers and maybe pop this one on the other side. Sorry about that. Thought I heard something in my yard and it's dark outside, so needed to check. All right, so then this will go there. And then we can pop the flowers up on these. Something like that. Okay. And then we could put our, that's gonna look pretty. Okay, let's start putting this together. I think I'm gonna put the flowers on first. Let's get a glue. Let's see if you're working. Okay. All right, let's use the big one. And we can put like little pearls in the middle just to make them pop a little more. I think I want you there. There. And the last one here. Okay, so I'm gonna let that set for a second and I'll be right back. Okay, so while I was waiting for the little flowers to dry, I went ahead and I cut a second one of these just to give it a little bit of height without adding foam tape. Because with the cost of everything, you want to save at least on postage. At this point, crafting is going to become very expensive. All right, so let's glue this guy down. All right. And if you wanted this paper to look a little bit older, you can go ahead and use your like vintage photo ink from the Distress Oxide from Tim Holtz and just ink around the corner. and that'll just kind of make it look a little bit older. So we have that. And our first flower, I want to put it, well, the only flowers we're going to use in the center, and then we can see exactly where these guys are going to go. So then we can glue them down first. I want it a little bit off of the side. So then this guy should go somewhere like there. So we'll probably glue him down first. Let's see. And then bring you up a little bit. Okay. So maybe something like that. And then we can have this guy somewhere here. Maybe a little higher. I may have to glue it down first. All right. Let's add some glue to most of it. I think I'm not going to glue this one down yet just because I want to be able to move it a little bit. And just put a little bit of glue here. And maybe right about there. Okay, and press down. Okay. And then we can maybe put this guy here. I don't want it to cover any of the flowers. Okay, let's lift you up. Maybe there. I always try to think of, you know, how it would look in real life, and if you have flowers together, the leaves will intertwine, and you know, it's not going to look perfect. Maybe something like that. All right, let's glue it. Again, you can ink these up so they pop up a little better. Okay, that's where it's staying. Okay, and now we could go ahead and add some glue to this one. So you'll stay. And then let's glue this one down. For the actual leaves and the flowers, I didn't need any metal plate. I actually just needed the metal plate for this one. I guess because these lines, I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna have something like that going on, and we're gonna put pearls there so they pop a little more. Okay, let's go ahead and add this. And I'm going to put some glue in the center, which that's why I glued it previously, so I can use it right away. And just about there. And then you can wrap these guys around. So I know, like, we're always tempted to use whatever comes in a set or a brand with the specific brand, but I mean, once you buy it, you can mix and match everything and just make it your own. because I don't know about you guys. This time sometimes I buy a set and there's certain things I like about it and certain things I don't. So we have that. Let's see. Okay. Let's glue our panel down. If you wanted to do another mat on this one, you could. Another panel underneath it and just cut this down a little bit more. I don't think it needs it. All right. Let's get you on here, right? Okay. All right. My paper is okay. It's my card that was a little off. I can trim that though. I'm not worried about it. Okay, let's put this panel down. And then this guy could go here. So let's glue that down. I just want to make sure all that sticks, including this guy that just popped up. All right. Oops. Got already glued that down. All right. And let's press. You have to move it a little bit. And this is why I use wet glue, because it gives me time to move things around. And we can press. So we have that. And I'm gonna get some pearls for the flower and we'll figure out what we're gonna do here. We can either do one of the seals that came in the set, or I'm gonna check and see if I have like a Mother's Day real wax seal, and maybe we'll do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have the little wax warmer warming up. I need to cut some of the wax, and I should be using a knife, but I'm gonna use a scissor, of course, because why not? Make my life a little harder. Actually, I didn't bring out my X-Acto knife. All right, let's get that done. And we may need a little bit more, just in case. And I'm gonna let that melt. I am going to use the little bee. And I like this one because the wooden ones, I feel they're lighter, but this metal one is pretty heavy, and I think I get a good impression. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna let this warm up and melt the wax, and that's gonna take a bit, so I'll be right back. Okay, I think we are good to go. It's pretty hot. And I'm just gonna pop some of those bubbles. Okay, so we're going to pour this. And I'm gonna try to get it as round as possible. And we're gonna put this back on here. And we're gonna set this down. And hopefully we get a good one. All right, so we're gonna let it cool down, and then we'll pop it off. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's see how this came out. And I took off the excess that was in the cup. I just put it back to melt, poured it on here so I can reuse this and clean this up with some tissue, and we're good to go. So we're gonna put this to the side now, and we're gonna see, and it came out great. So we have that. And now we can find our gold pen. Let's see. Or we can use a white one to make it pop a little bit. Let's see how the white works out. And our little V comes to life. Let me just... These are pens that I got from the Dollar Tree. So we're gonna do this. And I think we're good to go. We can add that to our project. Let's put that to the side. We're done with you. And we can add that there. That's so cute. I'm just gonna pop this on with some glue. You can use a 3M double-sided tapes for this, but I'm just gonna pop it there. And here we go. I love this. I actually do. I think it's so delicate and pretty. Let's get some pearls. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's get some pearls out. And I think I'm gonna use white just to tie it in with the white that I put there. And let me move my light a little bit so you can see better. There we go. Okay. And I need 5 of them. Everything got mixed in together here. Okay. Let's get one of our little picks. Let's pick that up. Flip you over. Okay, last one. Let's loop it in there. Okay. And that's our card. We can add a sentiment here. Let me find a Mother's Day sentiment. I'll be right back. Okay, so I was looking for a big stamp, but I found this that I had been playing with, and I think I'm just going to use part of it. It says Mother's Day, and I'm thinking we can just do something like that, and we'll be good to go. And if not, we could just put it to the side. Now it's basically whatever looks good to you, right? So we could do something like that. I kind of like it better to the side. So I think I'm just going to glue it there. I think it gives it a cute little touch without adding too much. I don't want to take anything away from what we have going on there. So let's glue this down. that pin on it so we don't have a problem later. And sometimes it's good to like stamp out some of your sentiments and just have them available, because I mean, look, that eliminated some of the work for me because I had already done it. So we have that. It's just a little touch, right? So I think we're done. Of course, when I decide who it's for, then I'll do the inside, but I'm gonna do a second seal to put on the envelope. I think that would be a nice touch. And we're good to go. All right, guys, I hope this inspires you to bring out some of your stash. Mix and match things. Make the most of what you've already bought. And you can make something new. There we go. So we used the LDRS sealed kit. We used the Crafter's Companion, I believe is, let me see. Let me get the right name. Letters from the Heart. And that was the dies and also the embossing folder. We could have used this one too. I thought it was cool. I had it off to the side. And the seals were just generic seals that I got on Amazon along with the wax. And we got a little cute set going on here. And all the papers were from the layout collection from Crafter's Companion. So again, we have LDRS, Crafter's Companion. This stamp is actually from a company called CC Designers. And we just mixed and matched everything and made it our own. So shop your stash. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and get creating. We'll talk soon. Bye.